Well, in our previous video, we talked about the two forces at work in creation. The formative force in the inner world and the expansive force in the outer world. And in they working together, even the cooperation, you can say, they create, well, the world we live in. And you are living your life and you're heading to your destiny, your destination. And also the ancients compare this creation with a wheel. It's a wheel of life. Your life is like a wheel. And what it teaches is that your destination, life's destination, is in the center of the wheel. Because there you can find your true self, but also the purpose of your life. And this is not something new. It's in fact, we are being remembered to this in very ancient mandalas. Mandala also means wheel. And a mandala is really an image of this whole you're living in. So it depends on the colors it has, but it's always shaped in the same way. It has 7 circles and gates to the outer world, etc. And it doesn't matter which kind of mandala you study. Yes, there's a beautiful one, a Tibetan mandala. And again, you see that's the light world of the upper gods, above the wheel, and under the wheel is really the underworld with the darker gods, also keeping the balance. So your wheel is spinning in this divine world with light and dark, etc. And also you can see this in the Shri Yantra. It's a symbol we use a lot in ECOintention. But also this is the most holiest symbol from Hinduism and Buddhism. It's the 9-fold path to, enlightenment. And you find the enlightenment in the center of this wheel, so to say. We also have the medicine wheel from the Indians, being connected to the elements and to the north, the south, etc. And we find it on many places in the Americas. And also in our own culture, we have those beautiful windows above the entrance of many chapels. And they are also, in fact, designed as a mandala. It's a circle, and you find the holiest of holies, Jesus Christ or Maria, in the center of this mandala, of this window, this rose window. It's also in the mandalas you can find the Buddha there when you study him, the holiest person you find in the center, also as being an example, you showing the way to go there. So really, your destination is in the center of the wheel, and even our own euro is connected from its heart with the center of man. But then again, when you have your attention on the outer world, well, what I also do now have, you immediately connect with the expansive force. Connecting with your inner world, you're now pulled inwards by the formative force. But when you open your eyes, there is this outer world and there is the expansive force at work. And if you don't watch out, you are pulled outside, and then you will end up at the outside of your wheel. And there's a lot of distraction, temptation, leading you away from the center, the pivot of the wheel, from your destination. And there is more quantity, ruling instead of quality. You're finding your path of life, but you end up somewhere on the highway with a huge speed. It's not any longer quality, but quantity that rules, temptation, etc. It's not that bad, but still you have to get to the center. How to do this? And if you don't watch out, you'll end up in the treadmill. You know, you're really in a treadmill. You're where time flies. You know, you're chasing your own tail, and everything what happens is by accident. You know, you don't have any grip and hold on your life anymore. And who doesn't recognize this picture and also this feeling, etc. But still, how do I get to my center? Well, to do this and to help you, and you can do it for yourself, but we also work with managers doing this. We have this metaphor of the wheel and its guardian. Your life is a wheel, and it's really a steering wheel, you know, from a big ship. You're still standing there, you're in your ship, and you're directing it as the guardian, giving it direction. But how to do this? Well, before to make sure, is it really the right place to be in the pivot? What do you achieve? Or how does it help you? Well, when you really study the spinning of the wheel, you can say in the pivot, in the center, is no movement in comparison to the outside of the wheel. There is really kind of inner peace you can perceive there. It's really of being there. You can have an overview of your wheel, of your life, and you're also literally pulling the strings. All strings get together in the center, and you are there. And also, when time flies at the outside in the pivot, probably time stands still. There is no movement. You have spare time. You can get higher insight. So in this way, it's really a good place to be. But how to get there? How to create balance? How to create balance? Because, you know, you have to do your work. You have to get your income, and that you earn this in the outer world. And the other thing is then, well, do I need to be meditating 24/7, sitting on my carpet like the gurus do in India? Now, is that then the solution also for the actual problems in the world? Well, again, those very old ancient symbols help us to get insight. And this is done by the labyrinth. The labyrinth you can find all over the world in many, many countries. They're very, very ancient symbols. The Vikings used them, but also the Aboriginals. And again, how did they know from each other? They didn't have WhatsApp, whatever, to send the latest picture of the labyrinth to each other. But they were doing this. And the labyrinth is really a symbol. And it's not something you meditate on, but you walk this. And it's really leading you to your destiny in the center. Each labyrinth does this. And one of the most famous ones is the one in the Cathedral of Chartres in France. You can walk this path, and usually you have a question, and you go step into this labyrinth, in fact symbolizing your wheel of life, and you're walking your path to your destiny. And really you can be sure that you get the inspiration, the intuition, what's the answer to your question. Well, when you look at the labyrinth, you see a lot of curves and a lot of circles. And when you are there, you will experience, many times you're going right, you're walking clockwise. And other moments you're walking counterclockwise, you're turning to the left. And you know, clockwise to the right, then you're connected with the expansive force. The formative force is working counterclockwise, is spinning to the left. Well, this is interesting. You can do this for yourself. When you take a labyrinth, you take a blue and a red pencil, and you start coloring the labyrinth. So each time when you walk, your path turns, you go right, it's red, and each time you walk counterclockwise, left, it's blue. And to your amazement, you will see this. You will reach your destination in a complete balance by using the formative force and the expansive force. So, getting to a higher consciousness, finding your destination, your destiny in your life. It's not working, but either meditating. It's really the balance between the two forces. Really the balance being inside of you, being in silence and being active in the outer world. So really you can now breathe in, you can do your work and you can do your, but it's really necessary also to go to your inner world. Now again, okay, this is a nice insight, but in ECOintention we are very practical. How can I use this? How can I apply this in a better form? Now, because you're living in time and time is running, you don't have much time. How can we do this? Well, let's put the wheel in time. So here you see the wheel, and on the left it's the past, in the middle is the present, and you're heading to your future. And now we bring in the two forces. First, the expansive one. And when you take the expansive force, it's working from the inside to the outside, turning clockwise to the right. Now you end up at the end of the rim of the wheel, and then when you enlarge it, you lengthen it, then you will see this force is pointing to the past. Right turning is connecting to the past. It's like politics. But it also means that this force, the physical force, this is really what we are taught at school. You know, it's connecting with the past, and this is pushing. It's action and reaction, push and pull. And this is in fact what we learn at school. You know, this is what it is, and the future is open. It falls upon us. You can't affect us. Well, now let's take the other one. When we take the formative force, you see it's left turning, moving from outside to in. When we take then you see it comes from the future. In fact, left is connected with the future. That's why I call it politics, right? Connected with the past, and left is connected with the future. Well, it's a very ancient principle. It's already in the wheel. But now you see the formative force is attracting your future. It's pulling. How are you going to call it? Well, isn't this strange? We always learn the future is open, and now you discover that in fact the formative force, that in fact also, and you remember it was mind over matter, wasn't it? This formative force should be stronger than so you can really affect your future by applying this formative force. Can I really throw it into the future like a kind of line with an anchor and really establish it, affirm it, and then really pulling my future, my desired future, and wishing that it falls upon me? Well, I can tell you, you can. You can really affect your future in this way. You can really change your luck. You can go from bad luck to good luck by creating the future you desire. Well, what falls upon you? This is what you really literally have in hand. And this is what we call affirmations. An affirmation means to affirm. So you can literally affirm a happy future. Well, yeah, you go, okay, I can do positive thinking. Yes, well, this is truly effectful. Because when you remember, this formative force is working in your inner world and is driven by our thoughts about our intention. This really, it literally means, you go into yourself and you really visualize the future you are looking for. And the more you do this, it can literally fall upon you. You can have good luck. And this is how it works. It's a mind force, the formative force. It starts in your inner world. So it needs life energy to really make it work. And it means in life energy you give with positive intention from your heart. And then it needs information, it needs a target or something you're aiming for. So you can visualize this beautiful house you want to live in. And each time you do this, you really visualize it and you really upload it in the field. When you come to this, then it's there getting a kind of bold print. In the end, it will be a blueprint. And when it's there, it's that strong that you really start like an anchor. You throw your anchor into the future, and it's there you start on pulling this future to you. So life is literally push and pull. It's not only push, but you can also have this pull from your future. And this is the whole magic of affirmations, but also directing the energy you're giving in your ECOintention balancing, and also a way how we teach managers to really affirm and to connect with the future they wish for the company, for themselves and all the workers. Well, we're getting into this in more detail in later clips. I hope you enjoyed this one and you can start applying this to your own life. Thank you.